The monster legend at Lake George, New York, USA, originates in 1904, when a painter and summer resident named Harry Watrous allegedly created a fake creature to prank a friend. After losing a fishing bet, the creature, sometimes nicknamed Georgie, was reportedly fashioned from a 10-foot cedar log with a carved head painted with bright colors, fitted with glass insulators for eyes, red-painted nostrils, white teeth, and even whiskers made from hemp rope. To simulate a sea monster surfacing, Watrous attached the log to a stone anchor with a long rope pulley system. The log could be submerged out of sight, then pulled up to appear as a mysterious creature rising from the depths, to the great shock of unsuspecting boaters. The first sighting occurred when a boat carrying the friend and others passed over the submerged log. At the right moment, Watrous triggered the mechanism, and the creature popped up, causing panic among the boat's passengers. Thus, the Lake George monster began not as an ancient folklore or indigenous legend, but as a practical joke, hoax by one individual. After the initial incident, news of the serpent spread quickly, spurred by sensational newspaper coverage. Word of mouth and curiosity caused multiple sightings around the lake, often from people believing they saw the monster surface near their boat or near lakeshore hotels. According to some local tales, the monster even resulted in dramatic stories. For example, one version claims a honeymooning couple's canoe ride was interrupted when the creature surfaced beside them, allegedly causing the canoe to capsize, the groom to swim away in panic, and the bride to abandon the marriage on the spot. Over the decades, even after the hoax was confessed, the stories continued to be part of local lore. The creature, Georgie, became a kind of folklore mascot for the lake, embedded in local memory and occasionally referenced in tourism or local trivia about Lake George. In other words, though the original event was engineered, the legend outgrew the hoax, turning into folklore and local identity for Lake George. Decades after the first sightings, Watrous, in 1934, publicly admitted that the creature was nothing more than a login pulley construction, a prank, not a real monster. Investigators and skeptics studied the case. In 2002-2003, researchers were even allowed to examine what was claimed to be the original monster. Observers noted many inconsistencies between the artifact and Watrous's original description. E.g., the exhibited monster measured only 52 inches, rather than the 10-foot log reportedly used. Other discrepancies: while Watrous described the head as having ears like an ass, painted blue, the exhibited version lacked ears entirely, though some mounting evidence like slots on top of the head suggests ears may have existed at some point. The metal fin attached to the body appears to have been replaced or reworked over time. These material inconsistencies, plus the long history of reported movements of the monster around the lake, always conveniently manipulated by rope and anchor, have led scholars to conclude the Lake George monster was deliberately fabricated and never a biological creature. In skeptical assessments, the case of the Lake George monster is often held up as one of the grandest hoaxes in American lake monster lore. Water monster legends, sea or lake serpents have a long place in global folklore. In the classification of folkloric motifs, lake monsters belong to a broader lake monster dragon in lake archetype, often serving as mysterious guardians, dangers, or otherworldly beings tied to deep, dark waters. The Lake George monster case follows familiar patterns: a mysterious creature in a calm lake, nighttime sightings, fearful imagination, and sensational media coverage. Even though this one was man-made, it effectively played into the popular human fascination with the unknown, the uncanny, and the possibility of hidden beasts. Over time, the Hoax monster became part of local identity, a story passed down, told to tourists, immortalized in museums or tourist branding, t-shirts, local lore. Even when people know it was a prank, the legend remains because it's entertaining, mysterious, and part of regional myth branding. Some folklorists observe that many lake monster legends, real or hoax, serve symbolic social functions. Warnings about dangerous waters, cautionary tales for swimmers, children, or just communal storytelling. The original creature, or at least what was believed to be the original, has been displayed publicly. According to sources, what remains of Georgie Izor has been kept at the Community Center Museum in the town of Hague, New York, near Lake George. The legend remains part of the local color and tourist lore around Lake George and the surrounding Adirondack region. Several travel and history-oriented websites mention the monster when describing the lake's fun facts or myths. In broader folkloric cryptid discussions, the Lake George monster is often referenced as a cautionary example, illustrating how easily a prank or hoax can evolve into enduring folklore, sometimes outlasting the memory of its origin. Not all monster legends spring from ancient myths or genuine natural phenomena. Some come from human mischief, creativity, or a desire to scare or entertain. The Lake George case is a textbook example. Once a monster story gains traction through eyewitness accounts, media coverage, local gossip, it can take on a life of its own. Over time, many may forget or disregard the original confession, yet continue to retell the legend. Studying such cases helps distinguish between folklore, hoax, and genuine cryptid claims. It also illuminates how folklore evolves. The human mind, social dynamics, and cultural context shape what becomes legend. Finally, these legends tell us something about human psychology, fear of the unknown, attraction to mystery, and about how communities build collective identity, especially around natural landmarks like lakes, mountains, forests. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.